Okay, welcome back everybody. So, we are going to... Oop, I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Okay. We're going to get back with our stuff here. Now, one thing I want to do is, you'll notice Munyan has a position of negative, or has point 0.07, but I want to raise him up just a little bit more than that. I want just a little bit off the ground. So I just want him about 1 off the ground. 1.1. I like 1.1. Okay, now, flange on the other hand. Flange, we want flange. Ooh. Flange looks like he's buried in there. So, let's take a look and see. Yeah, you see flange, like half of him is underground. We actually, oops. Okay, so let's just put him at 1, okay. And scale, I want him to be not quite as tall. Yeah, and then we'll put him a little back lower to the ground. Let's try about 0.6. Is that too much? That's about good. Let's try 0.5. I like 0.6. I want him to hover just a little bit. Right now I want the shadow. Okay. So, we got a couple of adjustments made to our characters. What are we going to do next? Let's see. Let me move the Unity window and get into here. So the next thing we're going to... Whoa. Well, where's my VS Code? Huh. Okay, is that it? Nope. There we are. Okay, there's my code. Okay, I'm glad I checked on that because I don't know if I would have caught that before. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take all of these, X out of here, and we're going to move these down here into... We're going to move all these down here into the update method. And then also, I'm going to get rid of the serialized... Oh, I'm going to get rid of the serialized field because we don't need it anymore for what we're about to do next. And so we got our serialized field, and then we got our values there. And now we are going to... We need to set this up for a controller, like so we can control it. So we need to take input dot get input dot get access. Oops. And we want to overload that with come on. Okay. We want to overload this with horizontal because we want the horizontal axis. How do I know this? Because there's it's in the instructions. There's also in Unity there's a place where you can look up this information, right? And it'll tell you where where to get your horizontal and vertical axis. We'll cover it later. So I got my value here, input, get axis, and that's just going to transform dot translate our characters. So let's save and go back over here and see if we screwed up our code. The z value does not exist in the current context, it says. So that shouldn't be a problem right now, because we are using float z value. Let's see what line it's actually, let's go back here real quick. Okay, now let's see line 31. That should be fine. Okay, so let's go back to all compiler errors. Okay, 3541 in the mover script. So wait, 30. Hold up. 3145. So line 31, right there. Huh. Float z value. That's interesting. Control S. Should have saved it. Okay. And it's interesting it's not taking it. So let me look at my cheat sheet over here.
Even see what the...
Let's try. Let's comment this out. And let's just change this to 0. Oh, don't do that, you goofball. Make that a 0. And save it. Okay, now go back to Unity. 3137. The y value does not exist in the current context. Interesting. Oh, I know what's going on now. Let's try something here real quick. Let's write public there, okay? Because I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, I unpurposely wrote my code to be this way. So, 28 method must have a return type. 28. Well, we're not returning anything. So anyway, the problem that we're having here is because I did this movement method thing, right? So let me clarify by and tab that in. This doesn't need, that's going to be fine. But they were, in fact, let's do this like this. No, I'm going to do it like this. There, that's a comment, and then all of that as a comment. Okay, so this is stuff I was playing with, and then this is calling the method, which we're not going to worry about. And then this is why it wasn't running, because the variables were up here and the actual method we were trying to run to call the variables was down here, and they were out of scope. So if we look at it again, you'll see it's probably going to compile now. That's what I'm hoping. Okay, let's go back to OBS. Let's see if our Unity window, there's our Unity window. And there's no compiler errors. So now everything's running, and whoa, we can use WASD to move everything back and forth. So that's a step. Now, if you remember, we have the same script on both of these characters, right? So they're both going to move at the same time because they're both being affected by the same script. And that's okay. We're just right now we're just playing around. So there we have our characters are movable using our buttons that we just programmed into VS Code. No, come on, there. We moved our floating values down to here because we're not going to need to serialize these values anymore, because once we get the control system set up, they're going to be dependent on the control system and not, we won't need to serialize them in the console anymore. So this is all we have for now, and we'll come back with more later.